Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. The Biden administration is frustrated with the reluctance of Israel to share its retaliation plans for Iran with the United States. President Biden hopes to avoid a situation like the surprise killing of the Hezbollah leader that he had no warning of from the Israelis. Israel has so far refused to tell the Biden administration details of its plans to retaliate against Tehran, according to U.S. officials. The White House is urging its closest Middle East ally not to hit Iran's oil facilities or nuclear sites amid fears of a widening regional war. U.S. leaders are frustrated that they are being repeatedly caught off guard by the military actions of Israel in Gaza and Lebanon, with Israel promising a response to Iran's launching of nearly 200 missiles shortly after the assassination of the Hezbollah leader. U.S. officials are hoping this time they'll have more insights on a strike that could lead to greater American military involvement. TikTok is facing lawsuits from more than a dozen U.S. states which allege that the popular video platform has put young people in danger, especially with their risky challenges, and has harmed their mental health due to their addictive features. According to New York Attorney General Letitia James, quote, "In New York and across the country, young people have died or gotten injured doing dangerous TikTok challenges, and many more are feeling more sad, anxious, and depressed because of TikTok's addictive features," end quote. James noted that a 15-year-old Manhattan boy who died in 2023 while subway surfing, riding on the outside of a subway car, allegedly had subway surfing videos in his TikTok account. So far, 23 attorney generals have filed actions against TikTok over its conduct towards youth. New York has asked a Manhattan judge to order TikTok to turn over profits from ads directed at teens and preteen users in the state. The state cited a Harvard University study showing that TikTok in 2022 generated $2 billion from US-based users aged 13 to 17. President Biden in April signed bipartisan legislation that would force TikTok, which is owned by Beijing-based ByteDance, to sever ties with China if it wants to keep operating in the US. For the first time since AT&T was dismantled into baby bells 4 decades ago, the U.S. government is now weighing the option to break up one of the world's largest and most consequential monopolies, Google. On Tuesday, the U.S. Department of Justice, in a court filing, said it may recommend dismantling Google's core businesses. This would separate Google's search business from Android, Chrome, and the Google Play App Store. In the court ruling, the U.S. government said, quote, that would prevent Google from using products such as Chrome, Play, and Android to advantage Google Search and Google Search-related products and features, including emerging search access points and features such as artificial intelligence, over rivals or new entrants, end quote. This recommendation came after a ruling in August that Google had violated an antitrust law with its search business. A trio of scientists won the 2024 Nobel Peace Prize in Chemistry for their use of artificial intelligence to crack the code of almost all known proteins, also known as the chemical tools for life. The Nobel Committee praised David Baker, a U.S. biochemist, for completing the almost impossible feat of building entirely new kinds of proteins. The other two scientists, Demis Hassabis and John Jumper, were awarded for developing an AI model to predict proteins' complex structures, a problem that had been unsolved for 50 years. Proteins are a string of amino acid molecules that are the building blocks for life. They help form hair, skin, and tissue cells. They read, copy, and repair DNA, and they help carry oxygen in the blood. While proteins are built from only around 20 amino acids, they can be combined in almost endless ways, folding themselves into highly complex patterns in three-dimensional spaces. At the awards ceremony, the committee said the potential of their discoveries is enormous. The prize, seen as the pinnacle of scientific achievement, carries a cash award of 11 million Swedish kroner, which equates to $1 million US. In some welcoming news, last week the State Department announced that the typical processing time for U.S. passports is now down to 4 to 6 weeks. The processing time previously was between 6 to 8 weeks. The speedier time frame is a bit of relief following a massive backlog during the pandemic that resulted in wait times of up to 18 weeks during the summer of 2021. That updated 4 to 6 week processing time applies to applications submitted by paper or online, the State Department said in its notice. For people in need of expedited services, the processing still remains 2 to 3 weeks. In mid-September, the State Department launched a service to allow Americans to renew their passports online. That service is open to adults who are renewing a regular 10-year passport that has expired within the past 5 years or expires in the coming year. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Let's talk portable electric space heater safety. These heaters must not be left unattended. Place them on a stable base 3 feet from combustibles. Their use is not recommended within a bedroom, but if you must do so, place a smoke detector on the ceiling within the bedroom. Plug a portable space heater directly into the outlet, avoiding extension cords. Thus, do not use lamp cords or power strips for this purpose. Are portable, unvented propane and oil-filled heating appliances safe to use within a residence? No. Massachusetts prohibits their use. These heaters produce asphyxiant gases. These gases can render an occupant incapacitated or dead. Please consider your safety during these upcoming colder months.
Welcome back. On Tuesday, October 8th, the Planning Board held their monthly meeting at Town Hall. One of the main topics of the night was the Zom Properties development proposal next to the South Shore Plaza. There was lots of discussion from the board and residents both in favor and against the development. Planning Board Director Melissa Santucci-Rozzi gave a full description of what Zom Living, Simon Properties, and the town have been working on since their last update in August. Here's more from Santucci-Rozzi.
Since the August public hearing, the planning staff has been working with Carl Seidman on coordinating town department participation, data collection, and question answering. The work also included an on-site meeting with several town departments, including Mayor Joyce. Mr. Seidman has completed his review and issued a report on October 2nd, which we heard about this evening, in which he presented his methodology and his findings, which I've included the summary in this report. That he is more in line with the $400,000 to $600,000 range, which the value has in fact, which the value that Mr. Forget had projected does in fact fall within that range. In addition to the peer work, the staff has had an opportunity to work with the applicant team to fine-tune the MU-PUD text to ensure the overlay is comprehensive, complete, and covers all the language to ensure the proposed text is compliant with 135-612, provided both red line and clean copies for the public and the board. The MU-PUD ordinance is just that and not a special permit decision. All the items specifically related to the site plan review criteria in PUD special permit will be addressed in the future decisions when and if sought. The planning staff is in the position to recommend that the MU-PUD zoning move forward. The town and state's policies on development and housing are clear. If people are not spending money in creating new real estate growth in Braintree, our financial base isn't growing either. The trends in retail centers and transitioning older centers all provide for residential uses. The live, work, play model is alive and thriving in Massachusetts, and it's time that Braintree uses their existing retail stock, land, and excess infrastructure for something more productive. The days of empty parking lots, access asphalt, open space with no public use or recreating benefit need to end.
With all of the town requirements being met, the Planning Board voted on approving or denying the project to go to the Town Council for final evaluation. Here's more from Planning Board Chair Kimberly Crowa on the development and the Planning Board's vote.
I would just say, I think that the application in front of us is a good application. I understand it doesn't answer all of the questions that we have out there with the rest of Simon's property, with the specific impacts that the apartments might or might not include from traffic and sewer and all the things that we talked about earlier. But I think we have a whole process with us where we get to look at that through the special permit. This is a much different process than some of the other zoning changes that have come before us recently and are coming before us tonight, where we really don't have any information. I know that the neighborhood is concerned about the proximity of the buildings to their homes. But I do think that this location makes sense where it's proposed. We as a town have repeatedly said we're looking for a high-end development, and a high-end development that overlooks the water is going to be much more high-end than one that's inside the mall or in the Dave & Buster's parking lot or somewhere else on the site. It's just, if you're looking at it from a real estate development standpoint, this is the location that makes sense.
Madam Chair, I think that this issue should go to the Town Council and let them decide. So I'm going to make a motion for a favorable recommendation on Town Council Order 24-034.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member McCamey. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Member Kent. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Braintree's Department of Elder Affairs has a number of activities lined up for seniors this October. To start, every Friday the center is hosting an event called Fun Movie Fridays, where you can watch a different movie every week at the center for free. Some one-time events to keep an eye on include bingo on October 16th at 1 p.m., the Elks Lodge Luncheon on October 21st at 1 p.m., and on October 21st at 2:30 p.m., Delvina Theater is presenting an interactive performance of Lizzie Borden and the 40 Whacks. For more information, contact the department at 781-848-1963 or stop by at 71 Cleveland Avenue. Next week, the town of Braintree is holding their second family flu clinic of the season. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 16th, you can head to the Town Hall's Cahill Auditorium to get your annual flu shot. The family clinic is first come, first serve and is offered to adults 18 years and older and students in grades 5 through 12. If you're planning on heading over to the flu clinic next week, make sure to bring your health insurance cards with you. Again, the family flu clinic is this Wednesday, October 16th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Braintree Town Hall. The upcoming U.S. holidays will feature something new for retail stores. Hours for retail stores have been announced for Columbus Day and Veterans Day. There are no restrictions on hours on Columbus Day, meaning normal business hours can be conducted on October 14th. But on Veterans Day, November 11th, retail businesses won't be allowed to open before 1 p.m. that day. In Braintree, Police Chief Timothy Cahoon said he understands this may make things more difficult for business owners, but supports the decision. Cahoon said, quote, "This is a day we celebrate veterans and honor them for serving our country. We should honor those who have died for our freedom, as well as the men and women who serve and have served to make the United States a safer place," end quote. Officials say that the new schedule is specifically for retail stores and doesn't apply to restaurants or service stations. A new event is coming to Braintree this winter. Braintree's Festival of Lights will be the town's newest annual event and fundraiser that will help raise money to improve the lives of Braintree residents. Trees will be displayed inside Braintree Town Hall, and those participating can pick their own theme, lights, decorations, and toppers. Then each tree will be raffled off to event goers. If you'd like to decorate a tree, send your application in by November 7th to bfotrees@gmail.com. Setup will be on December 3rd and 4th, and the fundraising event will take place December 5th through the 8th. For more information, visit Braintree's Festival of Trees on Facebook. Next week, the Bo Sox Club is hosting the second annual Sox and Suds event with special guest Dan Shaughnessy. The Bo Sox Club will be celebrating their 20th anniversary at the Widowmaker Brewing Company on October 17th. Those with tickets can attend the event from 7 to 9 p.m. There will be special memorabilia, autographs, and book signings happening during the event, as well as free food catered by Bone and Bread. To buy a ticket, head to bosoxclub.org. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. On Tuesday, Major League Baseball confirmed the passing of Luis Tiant at the age of 83. The former Red Sox pitcher, who won 122 games over 8 seasons, was inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame in 1997. Tiant enjoyed 3 20-win seasons during his time with the Red Sox from 1971 to 1978. Tiant, who was dubbed El Tiante and was the son of a Cuban pitching star of the 1920s and 30s, played 19 years in the major leagues. At the age of 16, Tiant was picked for the Cuban Juvenile League All-Star team in 1957. But in 1959, Tiant was signed for $150 a month, and for the next 3 years he divided his time between the Mexico City Tigers and the Havana Sugar Kings in the International League. In 1961, he started his contract with the Cleveland Indians. In his later years, Tiant remained active with the Red Sox community, frequently visiting Polar Park in Worcester, where he had the honor of throwing out the first ceremonial pitch. Patricia Morse, South Shore native and president of the Cohasset Working Dog Foundation, is one of many volunteers offering relief after Hurricane Helene tore through the southeast region. Originally, Morse had planned a simple trip to visit her son in Greenville, South Carolina, to help with yard work. But once the hurricane hit, her visit turned into a mission to support communities and displaced pets. Morse began fundraising through her foundation, raising over $10,000 in just a few days. The funds allowed her to purchase essential supplies like pet food, cleaning items, socks, and camp stove fuel. Morse told the Patriot Ledger, quote, "We heard that aid was coming in, but people are saying I have no dog food or cat food or chicken feed, and it just took off. And in one day we raised a significant amount of money to make a dent for whoever we reach. It starts little and snowballed," end quote. This week, Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch has again introduced legislation restricting future development at Eastern Nazarene College's Wollaston campus. The plan is to turn part of the college into low-density senior housing. Koch said he intends to preserve the residential character of the neighborhood and fill a void in the city's housing stock. The Quincy mayor introduced the Senior Housing Overlay District last fall, but the legislative session expired before the City Council acted on it, thus requiring its reintroduction. In June, ENC announced it would be closing, but the college continues services for undergraduate and graduate students scheduled to graduate by year's end. When asked about the proposed zoning law and the future of the campus, ENC Board Chair David W. Bowser said in a statement, quote, "No financial decisions have been made concerning the disposition of Eastern Nazarene College's property in Quincy. As ENC's educational operations wind down and the board speaks with and considers proposals from interested parties and developers, we are guided first and foremost by our charitable educational mission and our fiduciary obligations to act in the best interests of the college," end quote. Weymouth Fire Department is hosting an open house next week. On October 19th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Weymouth Fire Headquarters at 636 Broad Street will be open to the public with a number of demonstrations, games, and food. Those who attend will get to enjoy a fire demo, hands-only CPR, touch a truck, car seat checks, kids' activities, and of course, food and drinks. The fire department is partnering with Weymouth Health Department, Weymouth Police, Weymouth Emergency Management, and South Shore Health. For more information, head to Weymouth Fire Department's Facebook page. The November election is about a month away, which means early voting is starting soon in Massachusetts. Voters here in Massachusetts will be electing a new president and vice president, as well as choices for several offices, including U.S. and state senators and U.S. and state representatives. Massachusetts voters will also be deciding on several ballot measures, including the potential elimination of MCAS as a high school graduation requirement. minimum wages for tipped workers, and unionization for transportation network drivers. So when is early voting in Massachusetts? Early voting for the November election is open from October 19th to November 1st. Regular voting is available on Election Day, November 5th. To check out more information on early voting schedules and locations, go to the Secretary of the Commonwealth's website at sec.state.ma.us. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in sports and entertainment.
Like most parents, you dream that your kids will have a good education. You hope they'll be able to go to college or receive vocational training. You want to help your children as much as you can. Did you know that you can start investing in your baby's future today? The Baby Steps Savings Plan is a program offered by the Massachusetts State Treasurer's Office. It's a seeded college savings account program that encourages saving for college in the U Fund, the Massachusetts 529 plan. It lets you invest in your child's post-high school education and training. You'll even get a free $50 deposit when you enroll. Any baby born or adopted on or after January 1st, 2020, who is a Massachusetts resident can be enrolled in Baby Steps. Children can be enrolled in Baby Steps until they turn 1, and adopted children are also eligible up to 1 year after their adoption date. Here's how Baby Steps works. Take the first step by checking the box on the worksheet you receive at the hospital, or enroll online at babystepssavingsPlan.org. Next, open a U Fund 529 college savings account, and we'll make an initial $50 deposit. After that, you can contribute to the account to build up savings as often as you want. The program also offers free financial education for your family. The earlier you start adding to the account, the more money your child will have for future aspirations like college tuition, vocational training, and other school expenses. It's a fact. Kids with college savings are more likely to attend college after high school. Take the first step. Learn more at babystepssavingsPlan.org.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now here's Chris Curran with the latest on fall sports at Braintree High.
Braintree football loses in their closest game yet this season, 22-7 to Quincy, while all their other games, win or lose, have been at least by 21 points. Let's look at the highlights from that game. Quincy strikes first from about the 12-yard line, throwing a fade to their receiver. After Braintree takes a penalty on the point after, Quincy punches it in from the 1-yard line for the 2-point conversion. Then on the next drive, there's a bad snap on first down, giving Braintree a 2nd and 35. Braintree was not able to pick up any yards after that, leading them to punt. Who would think there's a highlight on a punt? But Braintree's able to down it on the 1-yard line. Braintree's able to stop them after downing them on the 1, but then cough up a costly fumble that's recovered by Quincy. After only one score in the first half, Quincy's able to pull some trickery and get a 48-yard rushing play for a touchdown to put them up 15-0. Braintree's able to answer back with a touchdown of their own on the next drive. Stone's throwing it up for grabs, while Canavan's double covered, but he's able to outbody both defenders and score the touchdown. But to seal the game, Quincy's offensive line opened up a huge hole for their running back, and he walks in for the touchdown, ending the game 22-7. This makes Braintree 2-3 on the season, with a bye coming up. They play next on October 18th versus Needham. The boys soccer team beat Brockton 2-1, and they get another tie 1-1 to Canton. This makes them 4-3 on the season. They go on this week to have a tough matchup versus Wellesley, who are 8-2 on the season, and then versus Brookline, who they beat earlier on in the season. The girls team is only coming off one game this week, a win 2-1 over Brookline. They go on this week to play 7-2 Wellesley and 7-1 Archbishop Williams. You can catch any live or rebroadcast of the game on Comcast Channel 9, Verizon Channel 28, or our website, bcam.tv. Let's send it back to Martha in the studio.
Thanks, Chris. Now, in honor of spooky season, here are a few movie recommendations for you to watch. First up, Coraline follows a young girl who discovers a secret door in her new home, leading to an alternate world that mirrors her own but seems better. At first, she enjoys this discovery until her other family tries to keep her there forever. Coraline must summon all her courage to escape and return to her real life. You can watch Coraline now on Hulu. Next, The Nightmare Before Christmas follows Jack Skellington, Halloween Town's beloved Pumpkin King, who has become bored with the same annual routine of frightening people in the real world. When Jack accidentally stumbles on Christmas Town, he plots to bring Christmas under his control by kidnapping Santa Claus and taking over the role. But Jack soon discovers even the best laid plans of mice and skeleton men can go seriously awry. You can watch The Nightmare Before Christmas now on Disney+. And finally, Beetlejuice follows Barbara and Adam Maitland, who after dying in a car accident find themselves stuck haunting their country residence. When the unbearable Dietzes and their teen daughter Lydia buy the home, the Maitlands attempt to scare them away without success. Their efforts attract Beetlejuice, a rambunctious spirit whose help quickly becomes dangerous for the Maitlands and innocent Lydia. You can watch Beetlejuice now on Max. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.